And welcome back to Protective Stadium in Birmingham, Alabama. For those of you watching the live stream on Atlanta United's digital platforms, YouTube, on X, and everywhere in between, we want to welcome you. Mike Conti and Jason Longshore. This match is being broadcast over the radio in Atlanta on Sports Radio 92.9 The Game. So that is why you will hear a radio description this afternoon as you look at Atlanta United's first group that will be coming out today, and we expect they will play 30 minutes. Atlanta United wearing the 5-striped shirts, the black trunks, gold numbers and trim. Birmingham releasing a new kit today from a Danish manufacturer. Gold shirts with white sleeves, white pants, white numbers on the shirt, and gold numbers on the trunks. The referee today is Benjamin Meyer, and there will be no VAR.
I thought we were the VAR.
We will adjudicate justly.
Okay. We don't have a system to actually tell the referee our opinions.
No.
But
nor would it be binding, but
no.
We could do our best.
We can try.
It's a good crowd here considering the weather problems they've had in Birmingham. In fact, this match was pushed back 2 hours due to thunderstorms in the area, but actually, as we get set to kick off here, it's breezy but warm. The artificial surface is relatively dry, and the sun is starting to peek out beyond the stands that are off to the far side of the stadium. I believe Atlanta United is going to kick off and attack the goal to our right here in the first half as Yorgos Yakimakis puts the ball center spot. Brennan, right wing, on left, to Silva, and then central fielder, Tristan, looks at Eden McFadden, who lines up at right back. Ronald Hernandez, the back of the center back, Stian Gregerson, and Derek Williams as we're underway. Maya first to touch and flares it out far side to Silva. Silva dropping it back now to Williams, who is playing right center back for Atlanta United. He walks up between the circles and now squares to the right to Gregerson. Back to Williams, who now flicks it forward to Hernandez, who drifts toward center circle. He'll cut it off to the left now to Mayumba. Tristan Mayumba, entering his first full season with Atlanta United, a summer transfer window signing last year. Giving it back to Gregerson, who starts it forward now. And he'll return it to Williams between the circles, who flicks it ahead now to Javier Armas, second-round pick out of Oregon State for Atlanta United. Armas plays it into the run of Williams, who sends it ahead now. Hernandez passes into the Birmingham end where it's accepted by Silva. Silva is bumped away from the ball but gets back on it behind the left halfway line and squares it off to the right now where Gregerson fires it up the near touchline to Luke Brennan. Brennan will drop it back to Gregerson in front of the right halfway line, and he'll square it. The top center circle now to Hernandez. Atlanta United from left to right here as Hernandez plays it down the far touchline to Silva. Silva dances and then gives it back to Hernandez again at the left halfway line. He'll flick it ahead now to Mayumba. First to Silva. Squared to Armas. Back to Silva along the touch. Arma, back to
Spanish, to fit in, the way that they real, coming up, Lativo, before Oregon State.
Just know, touch, he'll send Atlanta, and Williams, we play back in second, kind of has Williams, Hines, ahead, wing, dribble, Birmingham, continue, yards from the top, over the Bino, 18 to back, and it's Birmingham, clears it's Perkins.
Loved that from hitting that it will be then see how this game with this group with
Birmingham left to left coming far. It's Preston Tabaka, the 25-year-old from Cameroon. Dropping to Kasim in the middle, and he dispossessed by Firmino. He'll drop it back now to Silva. Further back to Hernandez, and Atlanta United will reset. Scoreless in the third minute, but a very good start for Atlanta United. Gregerson sends it into center circle, cut ahead by Firmino, then it's off the head of A.J. Patterson. Ball bounces in front of Enzo Martinez, then it pinballs off of Firmino again. The second ball falls to Matthew Corcoran. He gives it away to Yakimakis. Yakimakis then bounces it off of Kasim, and out of that entire Mesataka dribble now, Abilva on the tap the attacking, here's the top of the 18, put to the penalty spot, and then backed away from the ball, and it rolls harshly to Brad Hussein.
Nice work by Armas to shield Itaka off. A great dribbling run there from Itaka to put Atlanta in some trouble, but Armas got between him and the ball.
Xande Silva along the left halfway line, dropping it back to Mayumba. Scoreless now in the 4th minute as Armis will knock it back to Williams between the circles. He'll lance it ahead now to Ian McFadden at the right halfway line. Plays it over the top to an onside Luke Brennan. The ball spins in front of the near touchline. Now Brennan will take it to the corner. Will put a cross on that is blocked out for a throw by Dawson McCartney, a Birmingham trialist.
Luke Brennan had a great season last year with Atlanta United 2 and MLS Next Pro. 4 goals, 6 assists. Loves those 1v1 opportunities when he can get them.
Thrown into Firmino just outside the 18 right side, and he is dispossessed. Enzo Martinez now with Giacomakis counter-pressing, flicking to Patterson outside the 18. Ball loose at the end line and knocked out for a goal kick by Yorgos Giacomakis.
One thing to keep in mind for the folks who are watching at atlutd.com/live is the view on screen is the opposite of what we're seeing in the booth. So we haven't completely gone crazy in preseason game number 1. Just keep that in mind.
And also, again, if you missed it, we are doing a radio description because the game is being broadcast on 92.9 The Game in Atlanta. So bear with us on that. But hopefully you'll find the experience somewhat enjoyable, as if you were watching the game on Apple with the home team radio feed. Birmingham from right to left, the goal kick. It'll be swept back to the goalkeeper, Matt Van Oekel, near his own penalty spot. Van Oekel also doubles as Birmingham's goalkeeper coach. Now, Alex Cronali starting it down the right wing, where it's dug away and out for a throw by Shande Silva, dispossessing Preston Ataka.
Silva saw that run from Ataka earlier and wanted to close him down a little bit quicker that time.
The throw this time into Kasim, who gives it away to Firmino. Now Mayumba pitching down the left wing, a little bit under hit. Hands at the boots of Fadil Kavita. He passes out to Cronali on the right wing, and then Cronali knocks it off of Silva for a throw on the edge of Birmingham's right defensive third.
Nick Firmino playing in the number 10 role with this group. He's going to play that at times like a second forward. He'll play a little bit closer to Yorgos Giacomakis.
Off a steal by Hernandez. Here's Armas going over the top, looking for Giacomakis at the left side of the 6. He's bumped. He pushes it out to the far touchline to Silva. Silva passing to Mayumba. Back to Giacomakis, stabbed into the midfield. Armas will accept it. He'll dribble and play it back to Giacomakis, blocked away from him by Kavita. Out the left wing, and it'll be taken there by Hernandez, who drills it back to center circle, and now here's Gregerson. They'll try the right wing. Aidan McFadden on the right attacking third. Dribble, 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 parallel to goal. Now knocks it back to Gregerson, 40 yards away. Pass to Williams in front of center circle. Square it to the left now, Hernandez. Atlanta good in possession here again in the 6th minute of a scoreless match. Williams starting out of center circle, coming forward and playing ahead to Gregerson. Deep in the play, Gregerson into the near corner now for Brennan. Brennan dribbles and then knocks it back to McFadden, still the right attacking third. McFadden loops it to the back post. Headed away by Tabor Ataka. Into the midfield, Prosper Kasim can't win it. It's Hernandez sending it ahead to Mayumba. Down the left wing now, Shande Silva dueling with Tabor Ataka. Tabor Ataka wins the duel and is able to clear it to the halfway line, where it's restolen by Derek Williams.
The rotations will get sharper as this team goes, but already in that last sequence, you saw Gregerson and you saw Ronald Hernandez in the attacking third from the back line. That's just this commitment that Atlanta United has to get numbers forward.
Armas going over the top. Brennan onside, top of the 18, dribbles, puts a cross in. That'll roll past everyone. Firmino trying to run it down to the far corner and won't get there. Out for a throw to Birmingham.
So far, Javier Armas with his range of passing definitely looking like he fits in at the next level after his years at Oregon State. Also at the end of that, I think you see the sharpness and maybe not the fitness exactly, but the burst, because Firmino and Brennan not quite in mid-season form yet there and getting to that.
Off the throw by Cronali, it's kicked by Mohamed Touré into the left wing, and now streaking down the left wing for Birmingham is Dawson McCartney. They'll pull the air brake 45 yards from goal and drop it back to Patterson at the left halfway line. And it'll go back further now to Kavita behind center circle as Birmingham shapes up now in a 4-4-2. Tyler Pasher, a Canadian national, playing it over the top, off the boot of McFadden, driven into the center of the park where falling over the ball was Gregerson. They play on. McFadden on it again off a pass by Brennan. Now it is Gregerson, starting it down the left wing. Here's Ronald Hernandez as Atlanta United attacks from left to right. Hernandez behind the halfway line, dropping it back to Williams. Here's a back pass to Guzan. Guzan being chased by Pasher, gives it back to Williams now in the far corner. A good pass to Armas. Armas nearly dispossessed and rolls back to Williams. Another back pass, Guzan at his far post. Bounces it down the middle and calmly turning on it now, Nick Firmino, who crosses the halfway line and continues down the center of the park. Firmino to the edge of the attacking third. Down the right wing now for Aiden McFadden. McFadden puts a cross into the back post to Silva. He knocks it down to the top of the 18, but Prosper Kasim intercepts for Birmingham.
Looking for Muyamba, but couldn't connect. Nice idea from Shande.
Now Pasher turning on the ball, dropping it back to Kasim, who tripped over it, and it's knocked out for a throw by Muyamba on the far touchline. Birmingham in their own end again, off the throw, playing quickly. Alex Cronali, formerly of Columbus Crew, first-team All-American at Maryland, has played 38 matches in MLS.
Cronali's really found a home here in Birmingham. This is his 5th year with the Legion.
The halfway line, Dawson McCartney dropping it back to A.J. Patterson. Back further now to Enzo Martinez, the 33-year-old Uruguayan. And he's going to play a long diagonal for Tabor Tataka on the right wing. Will it connect to the far touchline? Yes, Tabor Tataka, dribble on Hernandez to the edge of the 18, to the end line. Ball rolls out harmlessly for goal kick. Good defending by Ronald Hernandez.
That's great work by Hernandez. Tataka so good on the dribble. Hernandez gives him that lane to the end line and then just escorts him over the end line and over the signboard as well.
Left to right goal kick for Atlanta United. Williams off the left corner of the 6, giving it to Guzan, who takes a touch. And now we'll pitch it down the middle for Yakimakis, backing up on Kavita at the halfway line. He gets it and flicks it to Firmino, who sends it up to Luke Brennan, making a run down the right wing. Brennan dribbling to the edge of the attacking third and then gave it away. Ball is cleared by Birmingham. Enzo Martinez bumped by Armas and fouled. First foul of the game, right on the edge of the defensive third.
Javier Armas has been very involved in the early going.
We are crossing into the 11th minute of a scoreless match, and we expect this group to be subbed out for Atlanta United in about 20 minutes. Enzo Martinez sliding it to Cronali on the left wing. Now it's handed off by Patterson to Matthew Corcoran, who drops it back to Patterson and back further now to Martinez at the edge of the Birmingham 18. He'll play another long diagonal for Tabor Tataka. Hernandez goes up in the air to win the ball, a heavy collision, and play is stopped. Looks like Tabor Tataka got the worst of that collision with Hernandez, but both fell very hard to this artificial surface.
Hernandez took a pretty hard hit in that, and Silva very smartly just held everything up so both players could get checked out. Tataka with the worst landing, but he jumped into Hernandez. Luckily, Ronald avoided the worst of that. I thought he might have caught a shoulder in the jaw, but Hernandez popped up pretty quick.
This is the first preseason match for both teams, and as Abe Gordon and Garrett Chapman said on the radio pregame show, the last thing you want is an injury to come out of a preseason game. It was here in Birmingham in 2020 where George Bello had a similar type of landing, a very hard landing over at UAB, and actually went to the hospital, something that we hope will not happen today. Atlanta ball off the free kick. Muyamba putting it into traffic. Firmino trying to dig it away from Martinez. Ball rolls back into the Atlanta end now to Derek Williams. Williams will start to the edge of center circle, come up to center spot. Seeing eye ball to McFadden, flick to Armas. He'll send it down the right wing now. Here's Luke Brennan in the attacking third. Flick down the near touchline to McFadden. McFadden dueling now with Patterson, and the ball is out off of Patterson for a throw to Atlanta in the near corner.
Scrappy from McFadden and Brennan. The sharpness not there yet, as you would expect after not even 2 full weeks of training, but the scrappiness definitely there from McFadden and Brennan.
Off the throw, here's Armas dropping it back in front of center circle to Williams. Down the middle, Yakimakis. Flicked out to the left, Hernandez. Ahead to Silva, left side of the 18. Dribbles into the box. Shande Silva to Muyamba, back to Silva, edge of the 6. Shot save, Van Oekel. Out into the midfield where a foul is called on Atlanta.
Kick saved by Van Oekel. Low to his right. Silva thought he had caught Van Oekel leaning to the other side, but Van Oekel able to get the big right boot across.
That Van Oekel, the 37-year-old from Chesapeake, Virginia, as I said earlier, also doubles as Birmingham's goalkeeper coach. Off the Birmingham free kick, they play down the right wing, and now they'll turn and return it to Van Oekel. is about 18 yards off his line. And Ogle will swing this over to the left wing now to A.J. Patterson. Luke Brennan approaches, so Patterson will pitch this into the Atlanta end. It's accepted there by Derek Williams below center circle. He'll square to the near side to Gregerson. Back to Williams on the edge of center circle. Scoreless as we cross into the 14th minute. Now it is flicked down the right wing to McFadden. Back to Gregerson, who hands it off again to Williams behind center circle, and he gives it away, looking for Armis, but jumping into the passing lane was Pasher. Atlanta, though, winning it back. Here's McFadden spinning at the halfway line, giving it back to Gregerson. Pasher applying pressure. He plays this now over to Williams, who will let that roll to the left side, and Hernandez will put it in the middle to Mayamba, who back passes to Guzan. Guzan at his own penalty spot starts it down the right wing to Gregerson, and Atlanta out of jail. Gregerson, look at him streaking down the right wing into the Birmingham end. Stopping and giving it now to Brennan along the near touchline. Drop back to McFadden, 40 yards from goal. To Gregerson again. Now it's passed by Yakimakis to McFadden. Yakimakis runs forward. It's dropped back to Mayamba. Played towards Yakimakis, but intercepted by Patterson. Can Birmingham clear? It bounces to the near side to Corcoran. Corcoran is able to clear, but give it away to Gregerson at the halfway line.
Gregerson covering so much ground. That big frame, it feels like it's about 5 steps to get from the defensive third into the attacking half.
Now it is Mayamba working with Armis, and Mayamba will swing it over to the left side now to Hernandez. Bounces off his head, rolls to the far touchline. He'll flick ahead to Silva. Silva will turn into the central channel now and pitch it ahead. That's a good ball to Brennan. Brennan at the edge of the 18. Cuts it over to McFadden. Back to Brennan outside the 18 right side. Into the near corner now for McFadden, who drops it back to Armis. Armis swings this to the penalty spot. Headed away by Patterson. Out to Kasim, who flicks to the right to Tabor Tataka. He will clear in the direction of Mohamed Toure, who bumps with Williams. Williams is able to shield the ball back into the Birmingham end. It rolls to Kasim, and now both teams can reshape.
Great defending by Williams. Wouldn't let him turn as Toure wanted to get in behind him. Williams just stood him up and waited for reinforcements.
Behind center circle, here's Prosper Kasim swinging this over to the left wing. A.J. Patterson, that may have hung up in the wind a little bit. Patterson got a toe on it, but the ball rolls in to Atlanta's right defensive third. It'll be run down at the corner flag by McFadden, who hands it off to Guzan.
Nice defending by Brennan. The ball back, he had to play it a little safe, knocked it into a safe spot for McFadden to run down. But good defending from Brennan. That's something at the next level he has to continue to work on. Such a good offensive player, has to give you something defensively as well.
Scoreless in the 16th minute. Atlanta United moving from right to left, or left to right rather, and in possession again. Right to left if you're watching on the stream. I'm sure that's very confusing to our listeners, but bear with us. We are giving you a radio description, the way that we see it here in the booth.
If you listen to us on Apple, you're used to it.
Here's Gregerson slipping and falling, and the ball rolls to Enzo Martinez. McFadden tried to win it back. Martinez has to steer it back to Patterson. Return to Martinez now, who's closed down upon quickly by Firmino. Birmingham has to play backwards. Here's Fanil Kavita now between the circles, sending it down the middle. Returning on it now is Tyler Pasher. He'll fire it ahead to Tabor Tataka, making a run down the far touchline. He dribbles into the attacking third. Pass to Kasim, back to Pasher. To Kasim again, dribbles to the top of the 18. Into the box to Toure. Then the ball bounces off of Hernandez to Mayamba. Mayamba dueling and loses the ball as it rolls back to Kavita inside of center circle.
Good work defensively by Corcoran, the 17-year-old.
Here's a pitch over the top for Pasher. Top of the 18, an offside plea for Atlanta. The flag stays down as Williams works it over to the far side, and then it's cleared by Hernandez to Mayamba. The ball stays in play, and now it's out for a throw off of Tabor Tataka. No offside in any of that. About 13 or 14 more minutes according to the script for this first group. And I think it's important to stress that this is not to be interpreted as the opening day starting lineup in Columbus.
No,
right
no,
now,
no.
The goal, maybe there was an offside here as Atlanta sets up for a free kick.
Called a foul.
But the goal was to get as many people 30 minutes of work as possible, and that would mean that some players would maybe drop down to the second group or jump up to the first group accordingly.
It's a mix and match. It's not a first group, second group in terms of quality. It's a mix and match. You want balance in the 3 groups, and you want everybody to get 30 minutes of work at a good intensity level today.
When Atlanta United plays in Athens next week, as Yakimakis is pushed down and fouled at the halfway line, they'll play Memphis 901, and the goal for that match is for 2 groups to play 45 minutes each. working the fitness up to 90 minutes for the final closed-door friendly a week before the regular season starts against Kansas City. Atlanta United off the free kick. Hernandez, 45 yards from goal. Rolls it down the far touchline, Shande Silva. Puts it in the middle. Firmino flicks it to Mayamba. A back heel to Firmino. Left side of the 18. Firmino with a cross for Brennan, who's shielded away from the ball. It rolls, though, to McFadden at the right side of the 18. Another cross blocked out for the first corner of the match by Enzo Martinez.
When you're making Enzo Martinez have to defend that deep against his end line, this is a good thing for Atlanta United. Enzo is a great attacking player. He was second team all-league last year at 32 years old with Birmingham. But good work from Atlanta. You can see the sharpness not there. Brennan should have hung on the back post. He made a run inside. Firmino didn't connect with him, but McFadden kept it alive, and Atlanta has a corner kick now.
Action at the goal to our right. Hernandez descended out of the near corner. His left arm is in the air. He's up to it. He strikes it. Outswinger to the penalty spot, and it's karate chopped out of there by Corcoran into the midfield where Mayamba takes it away from Toure. Now again, here's Hernandez just outside the 18 trying to bend it into the box. Dawson McCartney knocks it down. It falls to Gregerson, who flicks to Armas. Armas then returns it to Hernandez. Hernandez sending it to the penalty spot again. Flick forward to Giakoumakis. Shot! Score! Boom, Giakoumakis! And Atlanta United recycles a corner kick to take the 1-0 lead in the 20th minute.
Two center backs involved in that recycling. It was great work by Atlanta United. Gregerson helped win it back in the middle third, and it was Derek Williams who laid it off to Giakoumakis after the cross. Great work from Atlanta to keep that play alive. You saw Gregerson make the near post run off of the first corner, but he stayed involved in the play, didn't just immediately make a run back. When he got back, he's still thinking about getting the ball back into the attacking third. Williams with the layoff, though. When you have those two guys involved in set pieces with Atlanta United now, you've got more weapons to work with.
So Atlanta United, the 1-0 lead in the 21st minute. Yorgos Giakoumakis' first goal of the preseason after scoring 17 in regular season competition last year. Birmingham playing down the right wing off the kickoff towards Kasim, jumping in to crank it away from him and into the stands on the far side is Williams, out for a throw 40 yards from goal.
We've talked a good bit about Gregerson in this match, and I think he might catch your eye a little bit more with the size and his pace. Williams so steady in the back. I've been impressed with his patience.
Here's Atlanta creating a turnover and then being pushed down by Enzo Martinez as he was trying to counter. Down the left wing is Giakoumakis. There's a protest by Birmingham towards the referee. I think if anything, it should have been maybe a yellow card for a transition foul.
Oh, Enzo's trying to get that yellow card right now. Enzo might not be in midseason form with the ball or in his fitness. He's in midseason form in terms of arguing. That's Enzo. If you know the USL Championship and you know Birmingham, I love Enzo Martinez's game. He's been a mainstay at the second division level. He's played with the Colorado Rapids and Real Salt Lake as well. One of the great long-term pros in the United States. But Martinez, always feisty, and the referee just got an earful from Enzo.
Kind of reflecting the spirit of this Birmingham team, as you said. This is a team, I think Atlanta United, too, would tell you about the experience that they've had an USL Championship prior to last year having to play against Birmingham Legion. It's always like a trip to the dentist when you have to play the Legion.
Those were always good games, tough games. This is a Birmingham team with quite a few veterans, but like I mentioned, Matthew Corcoran, one of the best teenagers in the United States playing in the midfield.
What a turn by Shande Silva, sending it down the left wing to Nick Firmino. Edge of the 18, Firmino dribbles into the box, down to the edge of the 6, Firmino, shot, score! What a goal by Nick Firmino! A player down behind the play. It's 2-0 to Atlanta United. Hopefully Silva did not pull a muscle in the build-up to that, but Firmino has given Atlanta a 2-0 lead.
Great work 1v1 by Nick Firmino. 16 goals last year with Atlanta United 2 in MLS Next Pro. He had that goal against NYC in his one MLS appearance. He's got one to start the preseason. Firmino so good on the dribble in creating that space. Silva was involved in the buildup. I think he might have taken a kick as he laid it off.
I would almost rather it be that than any kind of pulled
Yeah,
muscle.
I don't think it's a pulled muscle. That's not what they're looking at. He was looking at his foot and ankle. I think it is more of a contact issue than a muscle injury.
Well, Atlanta United has a 2-0 lead on goals by Yakimakis and Firmino. And I believe the score line is just, to be honest, Jason. Yeah. Atlanta's dominated possession. We don't have the usual scorekeeping today, but just in terms of match feel, Atlanta's dominated the possession. They've held Birmingham without a shot. I think some of the players that have really stood out to me in this first group, and this might be encouraging for Gonzalo Pineda, are players like Firmino, McFadden. I think Brennan has looked very good so far. And Silva's turn to start this break that led to the Firmino goal was exquisite.
Yeah, outstanding. Silva's been sharp. Armas, I think, has been very good as well for an Atlanta United 2 player. He's been very, very good, just slotting in. And when you have that ability to have the guys like Brennan, McFadden, Firmino jump in with this group, which is a mixed group, also Armas, you see the identity of the way Atlanta United wants to play. And when you start to get that from academy players, from second-team players, from first-team players, and the consistency and the ability to move up and down and fit in, that's when your identity as a club is strong.
Birmingham kicking off and attacking the goal to our left. It looks like Silva wants to return, but for the moment it'll be 11v10 for Birmingham. This is actually, I think, one of the new rules that MLS is using this year, where a player that goes off injured has to stay off for a set amount of time. So now here's Tabor Tataka swinging a cross in that is chopped out for a corner at the post nearest to the cross by Derek Williams. Looks like it has started to rain as Birmingham will set up for their first corner of the match here in the 25th minute. In fact, it is raining rather hard here at Protective Stadium. We thought maybe we had missed the worst of the rain here today, but not so. Short corner, Tabor Tataka swings it to the penalty spot, headed away by Gregerson. Out of the midfield to Enzo Martinez. He traps. They'll square it off to the right now. It'll be worked ahead by Pasher. Now drop back in front of center circle Kavita. Starting it down the left wing, Prosper Kassim. He'll send a cross that's blocked. It bounces at the near post to Brad Guzan. I think Luke Brennan may have gotten a piece of that cross in midair. 2-0 to Atlanta United in the 26th minute. Xande Silva now has been off for, I think, close to 90 seconds here. But again, he must wait to be allowed back on by the center ref. So Atlanta United playing from left to right with Gregerson starting it down the near touchline. McFadden approached by Toure. Drop back to Gregerson. They'll flick it to the top of the Atlanta arc now to Derek Williams. Everyone waiting for Xande Silva to be allowed back on, but again, this is all being timed by the fourth official.
You're going to get the urgency out of this group as well. They've got about 4 more minutes or so. It's not going to be an exact at the 30-minute mark, but as close as you can to that. So this group's almost done with their work for the day.
So Guzan sends it down the middle, and hand fighting is Yakimakis and Kavita. Kavita draws the foul on Yakimakis. Free kick taken quickly to Pasher. Starting it down the right wing now, Tabor Tataka. In the middle, Martinez at the top of the 18. Flicked ahead into the box, and Toure fans on a shot. Rolls back to him, though, off Gregerson. He's pushed as it's cleared by Atlanta United, then flared back towards the goal by Corcoran, and it'll roll now to A.J. Patterson on the left wing. Drop back to center circle, Corcoran. A little bit of an awkward move as he is able to square it off to the right to Martinez. Now it's dropped back to the goalkeeper, Van Oekel, who's 30 yards off his line.
Corcoran might have slipped just a little bit, almost collided with Yakimakis.
Birmingham tries to play long over the top, and it goes out for a throw on the near touchline over the head of Cronali. So Atlanta will set up for a throw here. We're right about at the edge of time for, or planned time for this first group, 28th minute, with Atlanta United leading 2-0. And it'll be Aiden McFadden to throw it in. Drops it into Armas. Back to McFadden. McFadden looking at Pasher. He'll just pitch it into the Birmingham end, and now it'll be Luke Brennan trying to run it down away from Patterson. Patterson wins the ball and drops it back to Van Oekel. Van Oekel starts it down the right wing to Alex Cronali. Cronali ahead to Martinez at the right halfway line. They'll pivot now on Mayamba and send it down the middle to Prosper Kassim. Ahead he'll play now to Dawson McCartney in the near corner. McCartney puts a cross in that is mishit. It goes over the net and then bounces off of Firmino and over the end line for another corner. As Shande Silva is finally allowed back on. They play a short corner to Kasim in the far corner. Drop to Pasher now. Right corner of the 18, dispossessed momentarily by Mayamba, but Kasim runs it down from behind. Pasher again, sending it forward and out over the end line for goal kick.
Pasher was looking for a run from Martinez or for Itaka, and it didn't happen from either one.
And now we have a driving rain starting in Birmingham to the point where the fans are scurrying for cover. Very, very heavy cloudburst here in the 29th minute with Atlanta United leading 2-0. Atlanta playing from left to right. Brad Guzan directing traffic at the edge of his 6. Scoot that down the middle of the Armas. Pop it back into the near corner. Here is Gregerson. We'll try to cut that down the near touchline, but it's out for a Birmingham throw.
Next group getting ready for Atlanta United. They should be in shortly.
Thrown into Enzo Martinez, and he mishits a pass down the right wing that'll bounce out for goal kick.
Hey, Gonzalo Pineda wanted this team to have to play with consistency through different conditions, different places. Maybe didn't dial this one up, but you're going to have to figure out how to play when the conditions aren't great from time to time.
The rain may have softened just a slight bit, but still raining rather hard as Guzan sends this from left to right down the middle. Yakimakis wins the aerial and flicks it forward towards Brennan, but it'll be run down by Kavita. Now Birmingham with A.J. Patterson scooting it back to Van Oekel, who made a very good kick save earlier to protect a scoreless draw at that point, but Atlanta has since put 2 past him.
Love Yakimakis leading the line defensively, creating the urgency with this group to step up and press.
And the pressure is creating some danger here for Birmingham as Armas steps up and tips it away from Patterson. Ball pinballs out to the right side, and on it now is Luke Brennan. It's kicked by Armas back to McFadden. McFadden returning it now to Armas, who flicks it ahead to Mayamba, back to Armas, and back to the right halfway line now to Gregerson. They'll start again down the middle now to Mayamba as the rain has lightened here. Mayamba dribbling down the right wing into the attacking third, flicking it ahead now to Brennan. Brennan fakes the cross. Will drop it back to Mayamba along the near touchline. Square to the middle to Armas, 30 yards from goal. Armas giving it back to Mayamba along the near touchline. Back further now to Armas as Atlanta United backpedals to the halfway line where it's given to Gregerson. Past the top of center circle, Williams, who then changes direction and flicks it ahead to Firmino, who immediately cuts the pass back now to Ronald Hernandez. It will be the second group for Atlanta United, where you'll see Luis Abram and Brooks Lennon and Josh Cohen, among others, coming on here in a moment. Played down the far touchline to an offside Shande Silva by Ronald Hernandez, and this will give us a moment for the subs to come on. Both teams, in fact, will make subs. Miguel Perez will come on for Birmingham, 18-year-old who's on loan from St. Louis City. He's going to come on, I believe, for Prosper Kasim. So Atlanta United will bring Noah Cobb and Luis Abram on as center backs. They will bring on Brooks Lennon as one wing back. They will bring on Daniel Russo, who's an Atlanta United 2 signing from Notre Dame, as the other wing back. The midfield will be Jay Fortune, Derek Etienne playing the role of the central attacking midfielder. Dax McCarty will come on in the midfield as well. And Jamal Tiare will play striker.
Saba Lobjanitsa and Tyler Wolf are the wingers in this. Same shape, 4-3-3, same setup. It's across the back line. Russo, Abram, Cobb, Lennon. Midfield trio, Fortune, McCarty behind Etienne. Wolf on the left, Saba on the right, and Jamal Tiare up top.
And play will resume with a Birmingham free kick on the edge of their right defensive third. I'd give a solid A as marks to that first group for Atlanta United.
Good group. They've set the bar. And look, this team is competitive. So now the second group, they've seen what the bar is. They have to outplay the first group.
And the ball deflects into the middle off of the free kick. It'll be won away by Perez, who's able to flare this down the right wing, but overhit a pass for Tabor Tataka out for an Atlanta United throw just behind the halfway line.
Russo, the left back, if you're getting to know him a little bit, he is a player from Notre Dame, an attacking player who is being converted to fullback. Aiden McFadden went through that. John Gallagher, I don't know what it is about Notre Dame attackers that Atlanta brings in and converts to fullbacks, but Russo is the next in that line.
Raining hard here with Atlanta United leading 2-0 in the 33rd minute. This is Luis Abram starting it down the left wing to Jay Fortune. Atlanta moving from left to right, still in the first half. Drop back again, this time by Russo to Abram, who starts it down the right wing now to Cobb. Cobb up to the halfway line where he flicks it into the Birmingham end to Lennon, playing it over the top for TRA. That's overhit and claimed by Van Oekel, 9 yards off his line.
TRA, a player we got to see a little bit at the end of last season. Incredibly athletic. He's going to be a problem on crosses. I want to see him with a full preseason with this group.
Here is Tabor Tataka dribbling down the right wing into the attacking third for Birmingham, and he'll bounce one towards goal from distance that's easily claimed by Cohen. Cohen then quickly bowls this up now to Dax McCarty, who streaks down the right wing for, or a bigger part, and that's Saba. It's knocked away from him, though, by Enzo Martinez. Saba, though, gets on the second ball, rolls it back to Lennon. Now it's McCarty handing it off to Etienne. Back to McCarty. Boy, a sheet of rain coming across the stadium now as Cobb squares it off to the left to Abram. We're in the 34th minute of a 2-0 match, Atlanta United leading. Fortune from behind center circle, dropping it back to Cobb. Ahead to Lennon, right halfway line. Down the near touchline, Saba. Turning into the middle, dribbling into the attacking third, giving it back to Lennon. Lennon in the near corner. Traps, hands it off to Saba. Back to Lennon, who pops that back into the midfield to Dax McCarty. McCarty, the 36-year-old from Winter Park, Florida. Traps and then flicks it ahead, turning Etienne, top of the 18, rolls it to the penalty spot. TRA turn shot, smothered inside the 6 by Van Oekel.
Nice work by Etienne, who has a big year in front of him. It was a disappointing year for Derek Etienne last year. Playing inside, it's something that we heard last year towards the end where Etienne wasn't getting time on the wing, played some fullback in training. Playing as a 10 here, he's got the ability to play as a 9 as well. He gives you some versatility. It's going to help him get on the field more and give him more opportunities to impress.
Atlanta really causing some itchy moments here. Here's a steal by Saba. Saba at the top of the arc, ahead to TRA, just rolls behind him and smothering it 7 yards off his line is Van Oekel.
Great work by Saba to win that back. Just a little bit too much on it. TRA just a little too slow to react to that pass as well.
2-0 Atlanta United in the 36th minute. Enzo Martinez turning, dropping it back to Patterson. A back pass to Van Oekel, wide of his near post. He falls down as he slices this clear up to the halfway line. Kicked off the touchline by Perez over to Teray. Now they find Tabor Tataka again making a run down the right wing. Dribble, dribble, dribble to the edge of the 18. Ahead to Teray. Off his line is Cohen to claim it. Offside anyway, though. The flag comes up on the far side.
Good work by the back line to hold their line. Cohen getting that save. Good for him. Good positioning there by Cohen. Ultimately, the back line, though, staying intact is what creates that offside call.
The rain has lightened up just a little as Jay Fortune walks this down the left wing for Atlanta United and stops 15 yards behind the halfway line. He'll drop it back to Abram, who starts it up the right wing now to Brooks Lennon. He'll tiptoe up to the halfway line and will flick to McCarty below center circle. Dax McCarty now puts it in the middle where it is knocked by Etienne back to Abram. Now on the far touchline, here's Tyler Wolf sending it back to the left halfway line. McCarty pitching it down the middle for Lennon, and it bounces behind him to the goalkeeper, Van Oekel, 15 yards off his line.
Love when Lennon can make those inside runs. That time Saba stayed wide. Lennon made the inside run. McCarty tried to put that on a platter for him. Dax has such a great range of passing in that midfield.
This is Patterson pitching down the left wing, and in a duel is Teray and Cobb looks like a 20-year veteran dispossessing Teray there.
So nice there from Cobb using his body. We know he's got the speed. He might be the fastest player in this group of 33 players for Atlanta United today, but that time he used his physicality to hold off Teray.
Etienne along the far touchline, giving it to Wolf. Now Jay Fortune on the edge of center circle, looking at Teray and kicking it over to Cobb on a square ball to the right side. Down the near touchline to Saba. Saba will dribble back into the middle and then cut it back into the Atlanta end to Cobb again. Cobb with a long diagonal. This one is going to hook up with Etienne. Left corner of the 18. Etienne dribbling parallel to goal. And he'll bounce it ahead now into the box where it pinballs off of Saba. and back into the midfield where it's won away by Tyler Pasher.
Just a little too much juice on that one from Etienne to Saba, mainly because of the wet conditions. That one got on top of Saba's right foot pretty quick.
The artificial surface has to be drenched right now, but here's Etienne counter-pressing against Pasher, dropping a back pass to Van Oekel, who clears it up to Patterson at the top of the 18. Patterson somehow finds Martinez now behind center circle, and they go to Tabor Taka again on the right wing. That is the player through which Birmingham has attacked. This time, Tyler Wolff takes it away from him, but a foul is called before that. I believe that's going to be on Russo.
Yeah, you can take your pick, Russo or Wolff. They both might have gotten a piece of Itaka, but that's a good foul in the middle third. Doesn't hurt you at all and just slows up Birmingham.
Swallowing run by Martinez off a quick free kick, and he's clipped and fouled again by Wolff, and now Birmingham with a free kick about 35 yards from goal. So they attack the goal to our left. Atlanta United leading 2-0 in the 39th minute. Goals by Yakimakis and Firmino with the first group. They have since been subbed out. And Birmingham will send everyone forward now for this goal kick with Corcoran standing over the ball along with Pasher. It is square to the far post, but way, way out, almost 40 yards away. Angle is slightly to Cohen's left. And it will be Pasher up to it. He'll pitch to the near post, and it's headed away by Abram to Lennon, who flicks it ahead to Saba. He'll bounce it to McCarty as Saba is tripped and fouled in the backwash by Cronali.
Saba staying down, but the referee's going to come over and remind him, hey, you got to pop up because of that 3-minute rule. You don't want players to stay down to try to get the referee's attention.
I want to make an editorial comment.
Oh boy, here we go.
About the 3-minute rule. So TRA gets hurt, we think, as a result of getting kicked.
Silva,
excuse me. As a result of getting kicked in the build-up to the Firmino goal. So the injury's not his fault. Why then are you punishing him by making him sit out 3 minutes if the injury wasn't his fault? It was a result of being kicked.
The idea is that he was able to get back to his feet and play because he wanted to come back in. What we've seen over the years is players staying down to try to get the referee's attention.
Hold on, Atlanta about to score. Here's Russo sending it in and over the head of TRA. Maybe not about to score. However, keeping the play going is Saba in the near corner and flicking to Lennon. Lennon's cross to the back post, caught by Van Oekel.
Van Oekel steps out in front of that. The idea is to try to keep the game moving a little bit more. I watched this play out in MLS Next Pro last season with Atlanta United 2. And early on, you saw players stay down like they're accustomed to and then having a discussion with the referee. I should have got this call. I didn't get it. That should be a yellow. And once they had to stay off the field for a few minutes, players started to pop up really quickly in the season. I think it will quicken the speed of play in MLS this year. And overall, I really like the rule. But the referee has to have some common sense in when to start that clock of, hey, are you getting up? Or are we going to have you stand off to the side of the field for 3 minutes?
So there's very little doubt that Birmingham's best 3 minutes of the match were when they were playing 11v10 after the Firmino goal. But Atlanta did not concede. And we're now in the 41st minute with Atlanta United leading 2-0.
I'm not sure how many training sessions Birmingham has had. The USL Championship teams have started earlier than they used to, but I don't think they've had as many as Atlanta United.
Saba coming through traffic down the right wing ahead to Lennon at the corner flag. Sends a cross in that's canceled out at the penalty spot by Cronali. Bounces to Etienne, but over his head. Pasher out of traffic with it, then out of a tackle by Russo, and he'll keep going down the middle. Ahead to Teray, who had to hold his run up. Teray sends it down the left wing. Here now is Perez, and his ball is stuffed by Noah Cobb. Bounces back towards Enzo Martinez, who flicks it to Teray. Ahead to Tabor Taka, open on the right side. Shot, punch save by Cohen, and then is able to catch his own save at the edge of the 6.
Good hands from Cohen. He parried that one to himself, and he knew what he had around him as well. He got his eyes up really quickly to see that he could parry that, take the steam off of it, and then make the catch. With a wet ball, you don't want to try to make that catch first time and have it get through your gloves.
That was Birmingham's first shot of the game, and then they fouled to stop the counter. Here, though, is a giveaway by Dax McCarty, and it produces a shot by Martinez that deflects into the goal from distance. That is the definition of a preseason goal conceded. and Birmingham is on the board. It's 2-1.
Enzo Martinez gets credit for the goal. It took a deflection off one of the Atlanta defenders. Cohen was diving for the initial shot. Some miscommunication between Jay Fortune and Dax McCarty led to the turnover, and the quick shot from Enzo Martinez from outside the 18 deflects past Cohen and into the back of the net.
2-1 Atlanta United in the 43rd minute. Atlanta kicking off and moving from left to right. That is a goal that would really tie you in knots if it were late in the regular season, but in the preseason you come to expect things like that. Here's Lennon trying to find Etienne down the middle, but it's knocked away by Kavita. Second ball, though, is knocked away by McCarty and flicked back to Abram. Abram playing a long diagonal now for Saba down the right wing. That connects 30 yards from goal. Saba traps Lennon overlapping. He goes to Lennon, pass overhead just a little bit, and Patterson sweeps it out for a throw on the near sideline. It'll be thrown into Dax McCarty. Tap back to Saba on the touchline, puts Martinez on skates and dribbles forward. Popped ahead to Lennon, right side of the 18. Lennon with a cross to Etienne, and he shanks the shot. Wide of the near post and out for goal kick.
So difficult to take one first time on this wet surface. Etienne tried to curl that one in, but scuffed it.
High line of confrontation for Atlanta United on the right to left goal kick by Birmingham. Here's Kavita pitching down the middle, where it is knocked into the run of Pasher coming down the left wing. He crosses the halfway line and drives it ahead now to Dawson McCartney. McCartney puts a cross in, but McCartney was offside. Well, Birmingham finding a little bit of momentum here right before halftime. We're crossing into the 45th minute. This second group for Atlanta United that we are watching currently, we expect will play up to the 60th minute today, or in other words, the first 15 minutes of the second half. Then you will see a group of second teamers and academy players. McCarty pitches it over the top, looking for TRA. Getting in front of it, though, and taking it away is Kavita. Good play.
So good. Kavita, the 30-year-old veteran, 104 games with the Birmingham Legion, anchors that back line. Kavita is just such a wily, intelligent player.
And Martinez going over the top now to Tabor Tataka, but he dribbles it out over the end line for goal kick, and that was well defended by Daniel Russo.
That's what you're going to be looking for from Russo with Atlanta United 2 this season, is those 1v1 defensive moments. How does he handle that? He's a converted attacking player to the fullback position, showing some good defensive instincts in the early going here.
See if we'll play any added time. Indeed, 2 added minutes here in the first half. With Atlanta in possession, Cobb being chased by Pasher. Back pass to Cohen, flick to Abram. That ball kind of dies inside the 18. He has to flip it back to Cohen. Cohen now up to his own penalty spot. He'll pitch clear down the middle. TRA wins the aerial, but knocks it past Etienne to McCartney. McCartney dribbles into the middle and then squares it off to the left to Corcoran. Corcoran spins back towards the halfway line. Now on it is A.J. Patterson, who will dribble back into the Atlanta end, pass below center circle to Martinez, and drop back to Corcoran again. And they'll play a long diagonal again for Tabor Tataka in the far corner. This time he nutmegs Russo, dribbles into the box, edge of the 6. Here's a pass, shot wide of the far post and out for goal kick. A beautiful opportunity for Miguel Perez, and he cannot put it on frame.
And it all started with Itaka 1v1 with Russo. Got the better of him that time. Not sure if he was able to nutmeg him or touch it to the side, but a good ball in, and Miguel Perez, on loan from St. Louis City, wasn't able to put that one in the back of the net.
Now in the second of 2 added minutes as Atlanta tries to play from left to right, but here's an interception by McCartney. Dribbles down the near touchline and will flick it back to Patterson. Patterson plays it up to Pasher. Then he bumps off Etienne, but gets the ball back 40 yards from goal. Spins back into the central channel now. Pasher squaring it off to Cronali on the right wing. They'll flick it ahead to Tabor Tataka again along the far touchline. Dribble, dribble, dribble on Tyler Wolf, and Wolf stuffs him. Hands it off to Russo. Russo gives it to Dax McCarty. Now it's Fortune dropping it back to Russo in the far corner. They'll roll it back to the end line now to Abram. Sends it into the middle now to Jay Fortune. Flick to McCartney. Up ahead now, or McCarty rather, up ahead to Etienne, who plays it into the right wing now to Cobb. Now Lennon will pitch this up to the halfway line. Saba tries to square it back in the middle to McCarty. He does. McCarty bumps off Perez to win the ball, and they're going to end it right there at halftime. So, first 30 minutes dominated by Atlanta United. Goals by Yakimakis and Firmino. But late in the first half, Birmingham gets one back on a defensive miscue and a deflected goal. It's 2-1 Atlanta United at halftime. We will have more in a moment on Sports Radio 92.9 The Game. tell you this copyrighted audio cast of Major League Soccer may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Major League Soccer. Mike and Jason with you, our producer Dom Shirosky, new studio crew, Abe Gordon and Garrett Chapman. This is going to be the crew all season. We're really excited about it, and we'll see how this long and winding road through preseason, first part of the MLS season. There is U.S. Open Cup played by MLS sides this year. It sounds like now that will happen. And then going through Leagues Cup and through the late stages of the regular season and into the playoffs. I think Atlanta United feels a lot better about its group coming into this season as far as work to do in changing, refining, strengthening the roster than maybe they did this time last year.
Your roster's pretty much complete. You're looking, I think, for a third forward. That's really the last element when you look at the overall depth chart and you look at how many options this team has at fullback, at center back, in the central midfield, on the wing, goalkeeper. You're really looking at one more forward, and if that doesn't come to fruition, I still think you're fine because you've got guys who can play the number 9 role if Giacomakis and TRA were not available. This is a really strong group, I think, with a lot of competition in the group, which is a good thing. We've talked about the competition at goalkeeper, and really that's the biggest conversation coming into all of this. But when you have the amount of talent this team has, every training session is elevated, every preseason match is elevated, and guys have to continue to produce to keep their spots.
If you're watching on the stream, you might wonder where we are. See where it says home of the UAB Blazers? See the letter E? That's us. But we work in darkness.
We like darkness.
Yes.
I think I do anyway. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I think it's kind of a dark, gloomy evening here in Birmingham. We had a driving rain squall roll through here for about 10 minutes, starting in the 25th minute of the match. A lot of fans scurried for cover. Most of them, though, have returned to their seats, and I have to say it is a very, very good crowd here considering the weather and the time change and everything else in Birmingham. A good start to this preseason. Good to kick off the preseason here with a regional friendly. That's something that Atlanta United has really tried to do in its existence.
Yep.
And we've had worse weather than this for regional friendlies. The first one I ever did in Nashville in 2018, that was about, the pitch almost flooded. That was how bad it was that day.
It did in some spots. Now, this has ended up being a really good partnership with Birmingham Legion, and you mentioned it earlier. These teams, Atlanta United 2 used to play Birmingham Legion on a regular basis in USL Championship, but this has been a pretty regular preseason fixture, and it's a short trip. It's a good opponent. It's a well-run club in Birmingham, and I think since their move here to Protective Stadium, we were here a couple of years ago, this is a great venue for this level. A lot of great sight lines here, but this is a team that a lot of experience, but also when you're able to bring guys like Matthew Corcoran at 17, who was part of the US U17 World Cup squad last year, and play him 31 times last year in USL Championship, you're seeing a club that's really putting down roots and developing local talent as well.
No changes for Atlanta United to begin the second half. They're wearing the 5-striped shirts, the black trunks, gold numbers, and trim. Birmingham, meanwhile, has completely changed out their 11, including a new goalkeeper. Trialist Owen Jack is now their goalkeeper for the second half. They are playing with a mix of trialists and first-team regulars here, and we'll give you their names as the second half goes on. They're wearing gold shirts, white trunks, white sleeves, white numbers on the backs of the shirts. And if you're watching the streams on the ATL, UTD.com, or Atlanta United's digital platforms, we are giving you a radio description because this match is being heard on the radio in Atlanta.
And we're also seeing it backwards from how you're seeing it on the screen.
Yes.
So keep that in mind as well.
Atlanta United chasing Birmingham to begin the second half. Birmingham off the kickoff. They're playing from left to right. This is Majid Marana, a 23-year-old, pitching this to the halfway line where it bounces off of Brom and over the head of Stefano Pino, and then dug out of traffic by Tyler Wolf, who passes to Dax McCarty, dropping it back to Abram again, who squares it off to the right to Noah Cobb. Cobb playing down the right wing now to Brooks Lennon. Lennon popping it ahead to Saba Lovjanica. Rolls it back behind Lennon, where it's trapped at the edge of the defensive third by Cobb. Sweeps it into the middle again to Abram. who will flick it over to Daniel Russo, and Atlanta United 2 signing out of Notre Dame. He'll pop it ahead to Fortune, drop it back to the edge of the defensive third to Abram again. Atlanta United leading 2-1. We are in the 47th minute now, as Cobb gives it back to Abram again between the circles. Spared off to the left now to Russo. He'll pass up to the halfway line. Wolf taps it right back to Russo. Now pressing is Birmingham, and Russo gives it away. E.J. Johnson streaking to the right side of the 18. Johnson puts a cross in that deflects off of McCarty and will go over the end line for a corner.
Johnson, most recently with Hibs in Scotland. He spent some time here in the States, obviously from the U.S., but spent some time in USL Championship with Charleston Battery on loan. A really interesting prospect for Birmingham. That turnover, he immediately pounced on and created an opportunity.
Birmingham's third corner of the match. Moses Mensah will send it out of the near corner. They attack the goal to our right. Looking for the equalizer as we cross into the 48th minute. And Mensah will swing this to the front post, and Brooks Lennon cancels it out there. Bounces off Johnson into the midfield. Ramon Calara trying to run it down and does. Hands it off to Johnson at the edge of the 18. Shot through traffic. Caught by Cohen in the goal mouth.
Good positioning from Cohen. I think what we've seen from him so far, if this is your first time getting an extended look at Josh Cohen, good footwork, I think good presence, always awareness of everything around him. Been really impressed with him in his short stint so far.
Jay Fortune now for Atlanta United, rolling it backwards to Cobb again. Atlanta moving from right to left here in the second half. Cobb drills that ahead to Lennon, who flicks it to Saba. Saba trying to dig it away from Calara, and Calara wins that duel. Now Morana between the circles for Birmingham, flicking it ahead to Tony Tiente, former Atlanta United 2 player. Back pass to Owen Jack, the trialist goalkeeper. And, Owen Jack mishits a clearing ball out for a throw to Atlanta.
Owen Jack spent his grad year with the University of Vermont last year. Great work for them, beating UCF, who was a top 5 team in the NCAA tournament. Jack had a great year in that last year at Vermont. We'll see if he can make the jump to the pro level.
Shout out to my friend Brian McLaughlin, the voice of the Vermont Catamounts, a great Penn Stater, broadcasting, probably the best Penn Stater in broadcasting, as a matter of fact, by quite a wide margin if you've listened to me over the last 7 years. Atlanta throw backwards to Luis Abram. They'll roll it back again to Noah Cabo. Will turn him back pass to Cohen. Chased by Pino, the 33-year-old Brazilian. Now Atlanta trying to escape down the left wing with Fortune. Will have to drop it back to Abram again in the near corner. Abram will slide that up to Etienne, who's pushed by Morana. Play on. Morana dribbles down the right wing and tries to loop it to the penalty spot where it's headed away from Pino by Cobb. And then cleared by Lennon, and here's a great ball to Saba. In alone down the right wing on Jack. Saba, edge of the 6, shot wide to the near post. Jack did a good job of cutting down the angle, and Saba couldn't slide it past him. It's out for goal kick.
What a ball from Brooks Lennon. That's not a blind clearing ball from Brooks Lennon. He got his head up and picked out Saba Lobjanidze. Saba bearing down on goal. You mentioned it. Good work from the goalkeeper, Jack, to come across and take away the near post. Saba has to go for the far post and just pulled it wide by a couple of feet.
Dax McCarty then called for a foul going in on E.J. Johnson to stop a counter. And it'll be a free kick to Birmingham, about 45 yards from goal. So we're in the 50th minute. We expect maybe 10 more minutes for this Atlanta United group, and then it'll be turned over to the third group, composed mostly of second-teamers and academy players. But a couple players that I know we are really excited to see coming up in that third group, and it'll be my first chance to see Ashton Gordon, a player that I think is going to play a lot for Atlanta United too this year.
Excited to see that next group. Some of them I've seen with Atlanta United too, or academy games that we've had a chance to call. Excited to see them get this opportunity against a good level of talent for Birmingham.
There's Josh Cohen, 15 yards off his line, starting it down the right wing to Noah Cobb, who dribbles out of the defensive third. He'll pitch it over the top for Jamal Tiare, and it's headed away from him and knocked down to the halfway line. We're trying to escape for Birmingham is Diva Ngueblo, who's from Ackworth, Georgia. And here's a steal now by Russo, but then stolen right back. Then dug away by Jay Fortune. This is all in the middle third. Russo collects it and slides it back to Abram. Abram will pass across the face of goal to Cohen. Cohen will kick it out of the far corner now to Cobb, and Atlanta's out of jail. It's flicked ahead to Saba. Saba will turn and run it down the far touchline and then play it back behind center circle to Dax McCarty. McCarty gives it back to Saba.
Nice
Beautiful ball down the middle, and then the ball deflects towards Etienne, and it'll be rescued by Majid Marano, who back passes to Jack, and he'll pitch down the middle right off the head of Pino. Good distribution. Pino on the second ball lost it to Russo. Fortune tried to knock it forward, but he was dispossessed from behind by Perez. Now Birmingham along the far touchline with Moses Mensah. At the left halfway line, this is Nwegbo playing a long diagonal up to Chris Salamatu, and it's over his head and out for a throw in the near touchline to Atlanta United.
Nice bit of communication there between Saba and TRA. Saba had chased into the middle, and when Birmingham was trying to break down their left side, that side was exposed because Saba was in the middle, made communication with TRA. TRA went and covered the wing for him. Good work.
Atlanta moving from right to left here with a Brahm running it up to the halfway line and passing ahead to Wolf on the left side. And then Wolf is stuffed nicely by Kalara, who drops it back to Morano, who pitches clear into the Atlanta end. Cohen is going to call off a Brahm and then flick it back to him on the edge of the left defensive third for Atlanta United. Square ball by Abram over to an unpressed Noah Cobb. Cobb now met by E.J. Johnson. Will roll it ahead to Dax McCarty behind center circle. He'll loop this over to the near side to Russo. Russo with one step into the Birmingham end, giving it to Etienne. Back to Russo, flick back to Etienne, or beg your pardon, this is TRA, giving it back to Russo, and then that is knocked out over the near touch off Atlanta United by Kalara.
Something we didn't get a chance to see from TRA much last year in the limited minutes was his ability to drop into that midfield. We'd heard he might be able to be a second forward at times, playing underneath Yakimakis. That was impressive, dropping into the midfield and finding those combinations.
Then Atlanta earning a throw as it's knocked off E.J. Johnson over the near touch. Defensive third throw by Russo into Abram. They'll give it to Noah Cobb, who will slide it down the right wing now to Brooks Lennon. Atlanta leading 2-0 in the 54th minute. Lennon dropping it back to Cobb on the edge of the right defensive third for Atlanta. Cobb met by Johnson, has to back pass to Cohen, 17 yards off his line. Cohen flicks this over to Abram, punches it ahead to McCarty, who squares it out to the near touchline to Russo. Back to Dax McCarty. Good ball into the middle to Etienne, but it rolls off him to Tony Tiente. Countering now Birmingham. Here comes Marana to the left side of the 18, and then coming in from behind to dispossess him is Lennon. A calm back pass to Cohen, who pitches clear down the right wing. It's headed away from Saba by Mensah, and Birmingham is in possession again with Marana at center spot. He'll square it to Kalara on the right side and roll it ahead now to Salmatu, 40 yards from goal. He'll drop it back into the Birmingham end as TRA will chase Marana and will back pass to Owen Jack at his own penalty spot. He'll return it now to Marana in the right defensive third. Sweeps it into the middle. Loose touch by Tony Tiente. McCarty almost took it away. Tiente on the second ball passes back to Jack. Flicks it inside his own 18 to Marana. As Atlanta backpedals into the midfield, Marana plays a long diagonal up to Mensah on the left wing. He'll stab that down to Jake Roof, a 28-year-old from Huntsville, Alabama, former state high school soccer player of the year. Roof will turn and back pass to Jack. Jack on the left side of his own 18. Cuts it down the middle to Tiente again. Tiente tries to bounce that forward to Nwegbo. Now E.J. Johnson behind the left halfway line. Lennon stabs at it, so does Saba. Ball rolls to Etienne, who was tackled cleanly off the ball by E.J. Johnson. Birmingham countering down the left wing now, making a run E.J. Johnson down the central channel. Instead, they pull the air brake and go to the top of the center circle to Perez. Now on the right wing, here's Kalara. Kalara swings this to the top of the arc where it's blocked down by Wolf, but to Salmatu. Passed in the middle. This now is Perez. Dropping it back into the midfield to Tony Tiente. Tiente down the middle to Pino, who turns to the top of the arc, and here's a shot that's blocked by Wolf. To Abram, who gives it to Lennon. Back to the end line, Cohen. Cohen will clear over the top. Headed forward, though, by Roof into the attacking third. Now a loose ball that falls to the boots of Dax McCarty. He'll clear to Etienne, who knocks it down to Fortune. Here's a counter opportunity for Atlanta, 4v3. Fortune down the middle, and he is stuffed by Kalara, but earns a foul in the central channel, 35 yards from goal.
Heavy touch from Fortune, and he was able to get to it and rescue it. Armand Kaura came across and caught him. Fortune didn't give up on that play. Kaura thinking that he was fouled. We'll get another look at it potentially. I think Fortune, that's a little surprising that he's getting the call. I thought that wasn't going to go that way, and Fortune's a little fortunate there.
Jay making a good fortune, and now chance for Atlanta United with the ball square to the middle of the net, but 35 yards out. Brooks Lennon, the only man standing over the ball.
Hey, you take it if you can get it. You create your own luck in this game. Jay Fortune absolutely created some luck there, and we'll see if Atlanta can capitalize on it with Lennon standing over it.
Three-man wall. Lennon will pitch to the penalty spot. Set play, knocked down to Saba by Wolf. Saba takes a touch shot, blocked off the line by Pino. Second ball to the top of the 18. Chested down by Etienne. Etienne then loses the ball at the top of the arc and gets it back. Attack continues for Atlanta United. Here's Lennon sending it down the far touchline to Saba. Lennon overlapping. Saba goes centrally. Loops it to the back post. Wolf with a volley. Shanked and cleared out for a throw by Kalara.
I don't know if Wolf caught that with his foot, trying to take that out of the air with the side volley. Wasn't able to find it. Dax McCarty got stoned at the top of the 6-yard box by Jack. And then the follow-up opportunity blocked by Stefano Pino inside the 6.
Off the throw, Wolf had a chance. It was blocked, though, outside the 6-yard box. And now Birmingham trying to counter from left to right with Salmatu, flicking it ahead to E.J. Johnson. Johnson stepped by Russo, chopped at by Russo. Johnson still on it and bounces it ahead to Salmatu in the near corner. Here's his cross blocked off the back by Abram. Salmatu again putting it in the middle, collected by Tony Tiente. Drives it back to the near touchline, Kalara, and it'll go all the way back into the Birmingham end to his teammate Jake Roof. Wild action here in the 58th minute, but Atlanta holds the 2-1 lead, and an unforced error as Mensah knocks it over the far touchline for an Atlanta United throw.
Maybe one more sequence for this group from Atlanta United. I wonder if they'll get a little bit of leeway and get an extra minute or two depending on how this plays out.
Off the throw, Jay Fortune knocking it back to Russo. In the Atlanta end, he'll square to McCarty. Flicks it back to Abram, and Abram now will start it down the right wing. Atlanta from right to left here in the second half with Noah Cobb playing it into the Birmingham end to TRA. He'll drop it back to the right halfway line. Lennon back further to Cobb again.
Quick flashback on that set piece where McCarty's shot was blocked after the save. It was great work from Noah Cobb to head that one down off the initial service from Brooks Lennon.
And this is Cobb on it again, flicking to Etienne behind the right halfway line and drops it back to Cobb. Behind center circle, here now is Abram. Long diagonal, looking for Saba. Connects 20 yards from goal. Saba to the end line, dribbles into the box. Here's Saba with a cutback cross. Knocked away from Etienne by Miguel Perez. Lands to Lennon, though, right corner of the 18. Lennon, dribble to the end line. Fakes the cross, pulls it back, loops it in the middle. Russo calling for it, underhit pass. And racing in front of him to steal is Salmatu, who dribbles down the central channel. And here's a 3v3 counter for Birmingham. Ahead to E.J. Johnson on the right wing. Dribble on Abram. To the edge of the 18, E.J. Johnson. And then he gives it away to Noah Cobb. Cobb clearing it up to Etienne. Running down the left wing. Ahead to Saba, inverted on the left side. Dribble into the box. Saba stops at the edge of the 6. Takes a touch, shoots, and it's blocked. Back into the midfield. And here's Brooks Lennon trying to run it down, but it'll roll out for a throw.
Cobb stepped in front of that pass from Salamatu. Good read by Noah Cobb defensively. He's had a really good 30-minute shift. Atlanta is going to get an extra minute here before the change.
Yeah, this is good action. I like this action. Very good play here in the 60th minute. Russo down the middle. Saba trying to flick it into the run of Etienne, but that was blocked. Birmingham can't counter, though, as Pino gives it away to Abram.
Cobb got to that one again in front of Pino. Cobb has played really well with this group.
Fortune trying to go over the top for Lennon. It's underhit and blocked down by Moses Mensah, who will dribble down the left wing for Birmingham, and that will probably signal the end for this group. They'll come out at the next whistle as Gonzalo Pineda prepares his third group in the technical area. Here now, Tony Tiente trying to play a long one over the top of the right wing to Salmatu, and that connects with the near touchline. He will dribble on Russo to the right side of the 18. Salmatu into the box, dispossessed by Russo. Rolls to McCarty, who is stuffed by Perez, And then it's shot over the crossbar and out for goal, kick by Perez. And that will be the end for this second group here in the 61st minute with Atlanta United leading 2-0. But this group was outscored 1-0 on a giveaway turn deflected goal by Enzo Martinez.
I'm going to steal a gimmick and ask for folks to give a one-word review of kind of each group. I think the first group very controlled. Second group maybe frantic would be the way I would put it, and that's not purely on them. A lot of it is just the situation of coming into a game against a team that was already playing and had a rhythm. I thought you saw a much better second half from that group than the first group. Let's see how the third group goes. Wholesale changes. Quentin Westberg will be in goal. Your back line left to right. Dominic Chongqui, Caden Moore, Efrain Morales, and Matthew Edwards. Midfield trio anchored by Noble Okello, Julian Bretus alongside him, Cooper Sanchez in front of them. On the wings, Rocket Rita on the left, Owen Koutsos on the right, and Ashton Gordon is your number 9 up top.
So only 2 of these players out there right now will be on first-team deals, Quentin Westberg and Efrain Morales. Noble Okello is very intriguing. We saw him a lot with Toronto over the last couple years. He's an Atlanta United 2 signing. We mentioned Ashton Gordon earlier, and he will play up top for Atlanta United. As play resumes, Atlanta United moving from right to left here in the second half, leading 2-1.
Matthew Edwards also on an Atlanta United 2 contract after 3 years at UNC, coming from the Atlanta United Academy.
Here's Marana at the right halfway line for Birmingham, giving it to Kalara. Back to Marana in the Birmingham end. He'll turn and drop it back to Owen Jack, the trialist goalkeeper. Jack will take a touch and flick it off to Jake Roof on the left wing, and he'll play it ahead to Mensah now. It will streak down the far touchline for Birmingham and pitch it over the top and over the head of E.J. Johnson. It will roll harmlessly to Westberg, who will keep the play going at the right-hand line. So now for Atlanta United, this is at the top of the circle, Julian Bretos. And it'll be dropped back to Westberg again. Westberg will slide that down the right wing now, where it's played on by Morales. And then a clearing ball blocked out for a throw by Mensah along the far touchline.
Koutsos was deep that time. Koutsos has traditionally played as a winger. He came up through the UFA Youth Club in Atlanta. But in the Atlanta United Academy, he has played as a wingback when they've played a line of 5. He's also played as a fullback from time to time.
Now to cross into the 65th minute, Atlanta United leading 2-1. Caden Moore with a back pass to Westberg, who walks it out of the 6-yard box.
Okello will stand out with this group mainly because of his size at 6'5", playing in the holding midfield. Efrain Morales also got some height on him as well.
And here's Morales with a pitch down the right wing that is over the head of Matthew Edwards. Edwards, though, gets on the second ball and knocks it to Roof, who takes it to the corner flag. Roof's clearing ball was deflected and sent back in towards Okello. Now it's loose inside the circle, and here's a run-on shot that's blocked. It falls, though, to Rita, who shoots wide of the far post.
Took a deflection, though. It's going to be a corner for Atlanta United. Great work by Ashton Gordon and Rocket Rita. Gordon, no hesitation to try to create that shot for himself with the left foot. Rita found the rebound and tried to place it in the far side netting. It was deflected away in front.
Only the second corner of the match for Atlanta United. Caden Moore out of the far corner goal to our left. Moves this to the edge of the 6, and the ball deflects wide of the far post and out for goal kick.
Morales' header was down and wide. Good service from Cooper Sanchez. Caden Moore in the mix as well. I thought Morales got to it. No, it was actually Caden Moore. I think it took a deflection in front. Should have been another corner.
Should be Atlanta's corner based on the replay we were shown.
Good work by Caden Moore to go up and get to that one. Took a deflection away from the goal.
Birmingham moving from left to right here in the 66th minute with Jake Roof at the edge of the defensive third, playing it long and over the top to the ball boy. It's out for a throw to Atlanta United. Just outside their defensive third.
Quite a few players in this Atlanta United group, part of the U16 team that won the MLS Next Cup national title last year. Playing with Atlanta's U17s now in MLS Next. You'll see some of them play with Atlanta United too this year in MLS Next Pro.
It's a group coached by Kevin Kratz. It's flicked down to the air by Ashton Gordon near center spot, but it falls to the boots of Marana. Roof now playing it ahead to Miguel Perez. Drop back to Marana. He's a trialist who actually played for Houston Dynamo in the U.S. Open Cup last year.
Part of their academy came up, played at the University or St. Louis University as well. Didn't really get the opportunities with the first team, but Marana played a lot with Houston Dynamo too in Next Pro.
Kanan Moore chasing it on the far touchline, forcing Birmingham to play it back into their own end to Marana again. 23-year-old from Nigeria plays a pitch over the top that is going to be picked out of the air, and it'll flare out to the near side where it'll be dug away nicely by Rita. Now back at the end line, this is passed down to Chong Kui on the near touchline. Here's a giveaway to E.J. Johnson at the penalty spot. His shot is blocked and cleared. Play on, no handball. It was blocked off his shoulder. It looks like a Morales.
Good block by Morales. Arms are down.
Birmingham, though, building down the left wing again. This is Nwegbo, the Ackworth product, dribbling and losing it out over the far touchline off Atlanta United.
Matthew Edwards stood him up. Edwards, such a good defender anywhere on the back line. He's playing as a right back here, but he's also played center back and left back during his time at North Carolina.
Thrown to the edge of the 18, and it's E.J. Johnson giving it away. Counter here for Atlanta United. This one is drilled down the middle. A long, long run for Gordon. It rolls to the goalkeeper, Jack.
Gordon with crazy speed getting on top of that one quickly. Jack was able to deal with it. Good composure from him. Cooper Sanchez drove that one through the middle, just a little too much on it.
Now Birmingham trying to play through the middle as Perez knocks it back to Marana. Perez again now behind center circle. Another pitch over the top, this time for Pino. Off his line Westberg, and he'll collect it 2 or 3 yards inside the 18. And he'll roll that down to Efren Morales, and Atlanta United will start the engine again, moving from right to left. Dropped to the back line by Noble Okello. Then it bounces past Matthew Edwards to Okello, and it's sent down the middle now, where behind center circle trying to collect the ball successfully is Dominic Chankwi. Flicked up to the halfway line where Rita is taken down. They play on. Long run here for Chankwi down the near touchline, and this is going to go out for an Atlanta throw, taken quickly by Chankwi into Ashton Gordon, left side of the 18, fakes the shot, dribbles, puts a cross into the back post, chested down, and then Jack off his line is able to knock that away from Koutsos. It's going to roll to the end line and stay in play. Birmingham trying to clear against Atlanta United. Pressure they do as it's looped down the middle off the head of Pino to the boots of Salmatu. Boy, Atlanta United really had a good chance there.
Nice from Koutsos to bring that down, but Owen Jack has played very well in goal for Birmingham, closed him down quickly.
And here's a push and a foul by Chong Kui on the right wing for Atlanta United. Quick free kick. Pino flicking it over to the near touchline, Kalara, and it will bounce that out for a throw. This is going to be thrown into the near corner where it's picked off by Chanqui's. Second ball rolls in front of Rita, and now it's knocked down and cleared by Atlanta United. Here's a counter chance here now for Atlanta United from right to left. A lot of speed by Matthew Edwards coming down the right wing. He pulls the ball back to the touchline, and unfortunately it rolls out for a Birmingham throw.
Ran out of real estate on that turn. Edwards getting forward a few times in the early going, a player who is known mostly for the defensive side of his game. He's shown some pretty good confidence getting forward.
Well, Atlanta earns a throw right back on the far touchline as Birmingham with an unforced error. So 40 yards from goal with Atlanta leading 2-1 in the 70th minute. This is thrown into the right attacking third. It might have been deflected by Roof. Marana has to clear this up now at the edge of the 18 and does by squaring it off to the right to Kalara. Now it's Gene Marana again. Rolling it over to the left to Roof, who will dribble forward now on Cooper Sanchez. Bounce it up to the halfway line, and here comes Nwegbo. They'll drive that back to center circle, and Tony Tiente off center spot now. Dribbling up to Noble Okello and stopping 40 yards from goal, dropping it back to Perez. Back further to Roof. We'll loop this over center circle now to the near side to Marana. Clara up ahead now to Salmatu, and he knocks it out for a throw off Chankwi. Off the throw. This one takes a bounce off of Rita up to Salmatu. Salmatu will cut it back to center circle. And Roof now will pitch this down the left wing to Nwegbo. Nwegbo, 30 yards from goal, dribbling into the central channel, through traffic, and then he's bumped down and fouled about 5 yards outside the arc by Noble Okello.
Nwegbo has been impressive for Birmingham since coming into the match. He's kept going across to the right, got around Koutsos and drew the foul. Okello went in strong. A lot of contact, a dangerous set piece here for the Legion.
Yeah, it's inside of 30 yards from goal. So he's square to Westberg's near post as we see it. Action at the goal to our right here in the 72nd minute. Pino is to the right of the ball, and Tiente is central to it, and Nwegbo is to the left of it. There's the whistle by the referee Meyer, and it's Nwegbo going for goal, missing wide of the near post. Out for goal kick.
Been impressed with Salamatu as well for this Birmingham group. One of the all-time leading scorers at Georgia Southwestern, a D2 program in the Peach Belt Conference. He's been part of the all-conference teams quite a bit. Salamatu's looked like he could be a factor for Birmingham this season. He's been impressive. I love seeing those guys from Georgia universities get opportunities at the pro level. Right
to left goal kick. Westberg down the middle. That took a unfortunate bounce just a little in front of Cooper Sanchez, and it allows Tiente to play it up to Nwegbo for Birmingham. Nwegbo with a pitch down the right wing. Salmatu traps it in the near corner. Dribble to the right corner of the 18. Salmatu then is stuffed by Chankwi. They collide, play on as both players go to the turf. Birmingham in possession, but all the way back in the midfield. And now a foul on Ashton Gordon, taking down Tony Tiente.
Chankwi got hip tossed there. Ashton Gordon commits a foul. This young Atlanta United group, they are not backing down physically at all.
No, showing a little bit of grit and steel in the Pittsburgh of the South. Here's the ball sent down the middle, right off Noble Okello. They cut it back to Morales, who back passes now to Westberg, and Westberg will try to clear it out in the near corner to Caden Moore. He does by pitching it clear, and then the ball is cut off by Marana before it could connect to Ashton Gordon. Rita. Trying again now is Marana, and he is going to bounce this out for a throw on the near touchline, about 10 yards behind the halfway line. It'll be thrown down the touchline by Clara. Backing in is Pino and drawing a rather weak foul on Chankwi, about 40 yards from goal on the near side. So it'll be a free kick to Birmingham from there.
Chankwi maybe taken advantage of a little bit there by the veteran Pino. We've seen Pino during his days with Orlando City.
However, as we like to say a lot, ball don't lie. Birmingham with an unforced error to knock it out off of that free kick. Atlanta with a throw down the near touchline, and this rolls away from Ashton Gordon, but off of Marana, so it will be a throw to Atlanta. I think a throw to Atlanta. No, to Birmingham, I guess. Behind the halfway line, and it's thrown down the near touchline off Pino. Chankwi gets a piece, and it's off him last for another Birmingham throw. We're well into the 75th minute, Atlanta leading 2-1. Good defensive play off the throw. Pino knocks it out, but Caden Moore had the initial dispossession to earn the ball back for Atlanta. And it'll be thrown in now by Dominic Chankwi. And then the ball pinballs off of Okello and Julian Bretos, but it's knocked back to center circle where Jake Roof will take it for Birmingham, and he'll back pass to Owen Jack.
Smart there by Bretus, the young Haitian youth national team player. There's a little bit of chaos in the defensive half. Bretus just slammed that one back out to midfield.
Goals by Yakimakis and Nick Firmino for Atlanta United. In the first 25 minutes, a deflected goal by Enzo Martinez for Birmingham in the 43rd minute, and that is all the scoring in this match. Another long ball over the top, this time for E.J. Johnson, who bumps with Morales. Play on, and Edwards will let that roll to Westberg at the penalty spot, and Quinton will kick it forward and continue the play.
Yeah, there's no foul there. E.J. Johnson did the classic trick of run into the defender and try to draw the foul.
No, I was making more of a remark about Westberg not picking the ball up, but continuing the play. Anyhow, it is goal kick now to Atlanta United, as it was knocked off of Johnson over the end line. Rain is stopped here in Birmingham. Good contingent of Atlanta United supporters behind the Atlanta net off to our right, I noticed. Birmingham prepares a triple sub. Here's Atlanta countering down the right wing now as it's played into center circle to Cooper Sanchez. He'll square it to Dominic Chonquin behind the left halfway line. He'll knock it back now to Noble Okello, and his pass is intercepted by Pino. Pino flares it off to the right where Salmatu is stuffed and tries to get on the second ball. It's knocked away, though, by Matthew Edwards. Edwards, though, called for the foul at the edge of center circle.
Chonquin has been impressive defensively. That was another good defensive win for him. A young player, most of these players in this Atlanta United team are 15, 16, 17 years old. This is a great opportunity for them.
Nice work by Efren Morales with a steal. It's Birmingham trying to play down the right wing. Back pass to Westberg. Fires it off to Matthew Edwards on the far touchline. Edwards dribbling on Johnson and popping it down the touchline and out.
He's fouled.
Now a foul is called. It will be an Atlanta free kick.
E.J. Johnson is getting a little frustrated. He's tried every trick that he has. He's run into the defender. He stopped and let the defender run into him. Didn't get either call, and that time just slammed Matthew Edwards down.
Birmingham's going to make a triple sub here. Atlanta, it's unlimited subs in a friendly, as you probably know, but Atlanta has played all their players tonight. Finn Calloway, who was a high school junior at nearby Mountain Brook High School here in Birmingham, he is coming in, along with Gabriel Ortiz, a trialist who played for Flower City Union, and now the other goalkeeping trialist, Seth Torman, coming in for Birmingham in the 78th minute.
Torman has been here, UAB product. He's also trained with the Legion, has been with the Legion before. Callaway's the interesting one. It's another sign of that youth development mentality that Birmingham, as a USL Championship club, is starting to establish. He's on a USL Academy contract for the upcoming season. He can still go and play in college, but he'll have an opportunity to be with the Legion all year long.
Quentin Westberg sending this down the middle where it's headed into the ground by Marana. And now Roof will start this down the left wing for Birmingham to Mensah, but it's tackled away from him by Edwards. Back the other way, here is Atlanta. Duel on the far touchline involving Mensah, but Atlanta's in behind him, and here is an attempted cross that's going to be blocked out for goal kick from behind by Mensah. Last came off the Atlanta player.
Owen Koutsos down the right side. Mensah went shoulder to shoulder with him. You saw a little bit of the difference in the age and maybe the physicality. It's a good shoulder to shoulder challenge. Koutsos went flying, but no foul there.
79th minute with Atlanta United leading 2-1. Roof out of the defensive third, sending it up to E.J. Johnson now at the halfway line, and he'll play a long diagonal on the ground that's going to roll to Kalara, and then his cross is badly shanked over the crossbar and out for goal kick.
I think Kalara could have got to that and controlled it on the right side. It might not have had the legs to keep going as he tried to hit that first time.
Kalara, who's a trialist who's played in the lower divisions in Switzerland, could play internationally for either India or Cyprus.
It's a fascinating story. He was found at a trial that Hoffenheim did in India. Kalara, born in New Delhi, ended up in Switzerland after time with Hoffenheim's academy.
Rita with a good ball up to Ashton Gordon, but better defending by Birmingham, and that was Marana dispossessing him. Tony Tiente now looking this over to Mensah behind the left halfway line. He'll drop it back to Roof. 80th minute.
One of the things that has stood out to me with this group, Cooper Sanchez, a player that we saw last year a couple of times with Atlanta United too, the youngest player to ever play for Atlanta United too. Still 15 years old, but he's definitely grown a bit in the offseason.
Another long ball over the top for Kalara, and this time emergency defending by Chonquin to knock it out for a throw at the near corner flag.
Sanchez has spent some time with U.S. Youth National Team camps, as has Chonquin, as has Caden Moore. Quite a few of these players have experience in the U.S. Youth National Team pool.
Thrown into E.J. Johnson just outside the 18 right side. Back to Kalara, plays it back to the edge of the 18 where it's knocked down to Johnson, and then it's given away to Cooper Sanchez. Turned upfield now to Ashton Gordon. Gordon tried to pop that off Marana for a throw, but it never went out. Now in traffic here is Kalara trying to pitch down the near touchline, and a foul on Atlanta United as it deflects off of Gordon.
Cooper Sanchez went in strong on Cowra, committed the foul. That's the other thing about Cooper and his game. He was one of the youngest players with that U16 team that won the MLS Next Cup. He does not back down from a challenge, whether he's playing with now the U17s or with Atlanta United too. He actually picked up a yellow last year in MLS Next Pro for a hard foul. You saw it there. He goes in strong every time.
About 10 minutes and maybe a little bit of stoppage remaining in this match, and Birmingham again in possession as this is flicked ahead by Callera up to Finn Callaway, the high school junior. Callaway then puts it in the middle to Tony Tiente. They'll flick to Gabriel Ortiz, and now here's a pitch down the left wing that is trapped by Nwegbo at the edge of the 18 left side. He puts it back up top to Ortiz, who flares it out to the far touchline to Mensah. Back to Ortiz on the left wing. He'll pitch to the penalty spot, and that's over the head of Tiente and also Salmatu, and Westberg will let that fly out for goal kick.
This young Atlanta group has held their own. This is pretty much a U17 team with a couple of extra additions like Efrain Morales, obviously Quentin Westberg and Noble Okello. Matthew Edwards is going to be an Atlanta United 2 player. He's got some college experience on him. But these guys have held their own against a Birmingham team.
Westberg with good distribution down the right wing, and now Kutso's fighting for possession along the right wing and losing it to Mensah out for a throw to Birmingham.
Nice footwork there from Kutsos, trying to manufacture some space as he was boxed in up against the touchline.
From back of the Birmingham end to Roof. Squares it to the right now to Marana. 83rd minute with Atlanta United leading 2-1. Marana behind center circle, giving it back to Roof. Roof is going to play another long diagonal, this one for Clara. Sean Quee retreating, but that connects. Clara out of the near corner with a cross into the goal mouth. Header! Wide of the far post. And out for goal kick by E.J. Johnson. A great chance to equalize in the 83rd minute.
Good ball from Clara from the right side. The ball from Roof was excellent on the long diagonal. And E.J. Johnson was able to get the step in front of Caden Moore. Didn't connect with that cleanly. It came off his shoulder and wide.
So Westberg will set up for another right to left goal kick. Gonna let Caden Moore tap that to Westberg, who will walk up close to the penalty spot now and give it back to Moore in the near corner. Caden Moore trying to chop it forward, but he rolls it right to Finn Callaway. Birmingham causing Atlanta United some problems here as Tony Tiente draws a foul on Cooper Sanchez.
Cooper Sanchez wrestling with Tiente there.
And it'll be a free kick for Birmingham now. Just off the near touchline, but about 25 yards from goal.
Tiente, a player we've seen quite a bit over the last couple of seasons with Atlanta United 2 in both USL Championship and MLS Next Pro, the former Georgia Gwinnett Grizzly.
Clara will defer to Mensah. One-man wall for Atlanta United is Rita Rita. Action at the goal to our right. Angle is to Westberg's extreme left from 25 yards out. It's Mensah up to it. And he underhits it. It bounces in front of the penalty spot. It's an easy clear for Atlanta United. Back to Roof in the midfield, a top center circle. They'll square it to the right to Clara, and Birmingham will try again. A pitch over the top, this time for Nwegbo. Knocks it down to Tiente. Left side of the 18. Tiente dribbles past his man to the edge of the 6. His cross is blocked out for a corner.
Outstanding from Julian Bretus. Bretus didn't give up on the play. Tiente able to get past Edwards, winning that 1v1. But Bretus was able to close the ground, and he had a lot of ground to cover. He was in the outside of the 18-yard box when Tiente first matched up with Edwards.
Short corner to Mensah, left side of the 18, swings it into the goal mouth, headed away by Julian Bretos, and then back in and knocked away again by Caden Moore. Third attempt now as it rolls back into the midfield to Mensah. Mensah will pull it back to Ortiz. 40 yards from goal in the central channel, back further to Clara, and Atlanta United defended that well. Then it is given away down the right wing, headed in the direction of Ashton Gordon, but Birmingham reclaims the ball with Roof now in their end, and he will send this down the right wing again to Clara. Clara then will put it to the edge of center circle to Tiente, who took a bump and then gets back up, and now the ref blows his whistle to call a foul on Atlanta, and the free kick taken nowhere near where the foul occurred. So the referee brings the play back. deep in the 86th minute with Atlanta United. Feeling like maybe they're holding on just a little bit, leading 2-1. Again, this is Atlanta United's third group of academy players and second teamers against a mix of Birmingham first teamers and trialists.
You have a few Birmingham players who are more than twice as old as multiple Atlanta United players on the field.
That's right. In fact, if you were to add the collective ages together, it would be a pretty dramatic advantage in favor of Birmingham for experience. Efren Morales is able to win a ball in the midfield and back pass to Westberg. Westberg at the top of his 18, dispossessed E.J. Johnson. Tough angle shot, off the post and out for goal kick.
Good speed from E.J. Johnson. Westberg caught trying to find an option, was waiting for something to materialize. Morales has to go a little bit wider there to give him a passing lane. Meanwhile, E.J. Johnson just closed it down so fast and put the shot into the side netting.
That was a good play by E.J. Johnson. I initially thought maybe he fouled Westberg, but I don't think it was based on that replay.
No, it was Westberg looking for an option for the pass. Morales has to go wider there to give him that option.
Here's Birmingham again, though. Finn Callaway in front of center circle. Bouncing it ahead now to Nwegbo, dribbling down the left wing. Here's a cross that deflects and will be caught at the post nearest to the cross. However, handball, I believe, is being called against Atlanta United just outside the 18.
Saying it came off the hand of Edwards. His boot and his arm were away from his body. I'm not sure if it deflected off of the boot into the arm as we get another look at it now. Nwegbo looking for the cross. Edwards trying to take that away from him. And it comes off the boot into the hand, which some people will say should not have the handball called, but his hand is in an unnatural position. So the deflection doesn't matter. His hand was already in an unnatural position. That's a good call from the referee.
So now 7 yards off the end line in the far corner. Here's the free kick for Birmingham. It'll be taken by Tiente. And it's a low drive that rolls right through the goal mouth and then out over the end line when it passes the far post. No one got a touch on it.
You're just looking for chaos with that kind of service from Tony Tiente. Just put it into the 6 on a wet surface and see if it can find a deflection into the back of the net. I think it was a little bit of a back heel looking for Nwegbo, but he couldn't find a handle.
89th minute, right to left goal kick. Westberg down the left wing. That glances off of Cooper Sanchez and will bounce to the near touchline where Rocket Rita wins the ball, dispossessing Finn Callaway. Then the ball pinballs out over the near touchline for an Atlanta throw, about 40 yards from goal.
Nice work by Cooper Sanchez. He goes up, wins an aerial duel, and then earns the throw to be able to get control of this one back for the 5 stripe.
Off the throw, Caden Moore has a roll to him. He back passes to Westberg inside his own arc. He'll drive this down the right wing, and the ball dies at the halfway line and is chested down by Nwegbo. Nwegbo dribbling to the edge of center circle and then punching it over to Marana, who drifts to the right into the Atlanta end and then pivots back into the Birmingham end. We're in the 90th minute now with Atlanta United leading 2-1. Ball bounces to center spot where it is controlled by Ortiz. Ortiz plays on down the left wing now to Mensah. He traps 45 yards from goal, knocks it back to Roof in the Birmingham end. Roof from the edge of center circle. Pitching over the top down the left wing. It connects with Nwegbo again. Nwegbo dribbling to the top of the 18, parallel to goal. Puts it in the middle. Here's a shot from distance that goes over the crossbar and out for goal kick to Atlanta United off of Tiente.
Nwegbo and Salamatu have caused Atlanta some problems, but this young Atlanta group has been able to hold on, trying to close this one out and get the win and take it back over I-20 back to Georgia.
How much added time will we have? 1 minute. Good. So maybe 1 goal kick here and a little sustained possession, and that might get Atlanta United to victory. This bounces off of Noble Okello and into the middle where it's trapped by Nwegbo. Tries to slide it back to Ortiz. Jammed up, though, by Cooper Sanchez. It rolls down the left wing now to Moses Mensah. Seconds to play here as Mensah will drop it back to Roof again. Atlanta United leading 2-1. Roof 5 yards behind the halfway line. Ahead to Nwegbo, who will make a run now on Matthew Edwards down the far touchline. And Nwegbo puts a cross in that is headed away at the penalty spot and cleared. Back to Ortiz, who will go back further to Roof. Final attack Birmingham as Roof is dispossessed by Cooper Sanchez. However, they call a foul. It's well away from goal, about 45 yards away. Birmingham will send everyone forward now for the final kick of the match.
Good defensive header in that last sequence from Caden Moore. Cooper Sanchez left the leg in that time, and you give Birmingham one more roll of the dice from this set piece. Even the goalkeeper's going up.
Seth Torman coming up for the Hail Mary. Mensah standing over the ball alone, 45 yards from goal. He will pitch this towards the penalty spot, and it's headed clear by Atlanta United out into the midfield, and they blow for full time. And Atlanta United, for the third time in its history, wins a preseason friendly over Birmingham Legion. 2-1 the final scoreline.
Good defensive header on that last set piece from Rocket Rita. The third group, the youngest group, I thought showed some defensive sturdiness at times. Something that if you told me that group on paper, if there was a question mark, it was how they would be defensively. It wasn't perfect. This is a group with a lot to learn, but a great experience for them to face a talented Birmingham team.
The first group plays 30 minutes. They get 2 goals from Yakimakis and Firmino. The second group, in an awkward situation, playing 15 minutes on either side of halftime and in a driving rainstorm, gives up a little bit of a fluky goal, to be fair to Enzo Martinez. But I think what we saw for the most part, Jason, 2 weeks into the preseason, the players who are going to be factoring into first-team time for Atlanta United look pretty good today.
You see the identity of the way that the club wants to play across all of its teams. You saw that pretty consistent. They want the ball. The third group had the hardest time getting the ball and keeping the ball, which you would expect. But you saw them want the ball. I thought Yakimakis looked very good. Liked his work on and off the ball. Nick Firmino, not just because they scored the goals. I think both of them, even on the defensive side, very good from both. Javier Armas with that first group looked like he fit in. Second group, Derek Etienne playing as the 10. Noah Cobb had a really good shift defensively with them, in my opinion. I thought Saba Lobjanidze was trying to make things happen. Very hungry, like to see it. Third group, Cooper Sanchez, I thought was maybe one of the most impressive players in that group with his work on the defensive side. So you've got a lot of good positives out of this today. The work, the 30-minute shifts was the most important thing. It's where you build that base of fitness and a good opportunity for over 30 players to get on the field today. We'll see how it looks next week over in Athens.
And that'll be against Memphis 901, a video stream on Atlanta United's digital platforms and radio coverage on Sports Radio 92.9 The Game. Birmingham, meanwhile, their next preseason friendly will be at Nashville. I believe that's going to be it for us on video. We will continue, though, on radio in a moment. Atlanta United 2-1 winners over Birmingham Legion on Sports Radio 92.9 The Game.